All right, so we're in the shop here. That noise that sounds like a B-29 running on the runway, that's a fan, because if you're in Georgia or anywhere else in the South, and I imagine other places as well, it is hot as the dickens. It's like 2, possibly 3, maybe 4 rats going at it in a wool sock. It is hot. All right, so in an effort to keep from having a heat stroke, the fan's actually making the camera shake a little bit, so forgive me for that. But in an effort to keep from having a heat stroke, and I don't want one of those, is we got the fan running. So you're gonna hear that noise, and just learn to embrace it. All right. That's actually the quieter fan. If you remember from other videos, I had that other fan in here, and it just. So anyway, what are we doing? Well, let's do a brief rundown on what's been going on since the last video and what we're going to do in this video. So last video we got the CJ5 running. I drove it around. Today I brought it over to my brother's house and made it over here, no problems. Told you I was going to do some light duty tinkering on it. Well, today me and my girlfriend went and moved all of our wares, if you will, into a booth. It's kind of like an antique store, basically. Think of like an antique store, maybe like probably antique store is probably the best thing to call it. It's not really all antiques, like a home furnishing store kind of thing. Decoration, decor, have you. Anyway, we moved all of the stuff in there, the furniture that I've refinished and made, and the signs that she makes, and she's fantastic at flower arrangements. Let me move this camera, maybe it'll blow it, shake it steady in one direction. She's fantastic at flower arrangements, so she's done some very nice flower arrangements in vases and all kinds of different stuff. So we went down there, we bought a spot, and we're going to be selling stuff down there. So that's cool. So we went and got all that done. After that, we swung by my brother's place to drop off a box trailer that we'd used to move everything down there with. And I asked her if she wanted to tootle about, do some light duty tootling in the CJ5. And I'm not gonna lie, she was hesitant. You know, the CJ5 AMCs in general don't generally inspire confidence, so she was skeptical. All right. Finally got her in it, and then she had more fun than a barrel of monkeys. I'm telling you, she enjoyed it so much that she said, let's drive it back up to my grandfather's house, and we can drive it around up there. And I'm like, all right, sounds good. So we got in it, we drove it all the way up to her grandfather's house. She lives a ways north of me from here, and then we drove it all the way up to LJ, which is apple capital of Georgia, you know. So we went up there and we got some peaches and some cantaloupes and stuff. There's several apple barns and orchards and stuff up around LJ, Blue Ridge area, and they're very popular this time of year. And so she wanted to go get some peaches and stuff. So we went up there and got some produce. Very nice. If you're ever in North Georgia, you want to do the most cliche mountain experience ever. Go up to one of the apple orchards. All right, it's got all the things that make especially females happy. There's apples and orchards and baskets with fruit in them, and pies and knickknacks and paddywhacks and all the rest. So we went up there and did that. CJ5 ran like a sewing machine. I'm telling you. I mean, I don't know if it was trying to impress my girlfriend, if it knew there was a lot at stake. Maybe it knew that I've had it for sale. Maybe it knew that, and it wasn't fancying the notion of being in the hands of somebody else. I don't know, but it ran phenomenal. Probably put at least 80 miles, maybe 100 miles on it today, something like that. I mean, it didn't miss a lick, didn't stumble, didn't stall, didn't hesitate, did nothing. Just simply did its job. All right. Did its job so well that my girlfriend is adamant that I do not sell the CJ5 that it would be a mistake to sell it. We can take it camping. We can bring Ashby, the pup dog that I rescued down the mountains. She don't want me to sell it. Now, that's unusual. A lot of you gentlemen indicate to me that your significant others, girlfriends, wives, what have you, they're encouraging you to sell these antiquated vehicles. Well, mine is encouraging me to keep it, not only it, but the two-wheel drive Willys. So, and it doesn't take much pushing for me to keep a Jeep. You know, it don't take a whole lot of talking to be like, hey, Ray Clay Traveler, you want to keep this old Jeep right here? I'm like, hell yeah, I want to keep it. So, the two-wheel drive Willys is still for sale right now. I'm not getting any traction on it. It's not the kind of Willys that your average Willys man would want, all right? Because most folks want the Willys because they're 4x4, you know? But the other one's two-wheel drive, so it doesn't appeal to quite as wide an audience. But if you're a real Willys man, a bona fide Willys man, then you know what it is, and you want it. But all that's neither here nor there. It's kind of fill in on the business. I did that little survey, on here, and folks said that they kind of wanted to see all of the above. They want to see the CJ5, they want to see Jubal finished. I don't know what's wrong with these hiccups. They want to see Jubal finished, they want to see more camping stuff, they want to see all of my stupid face, which is quite flattering. I appreciate it. Ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate it. So, for right now, the two-wheel drive still for sale. The CJ5 is actually, it's not listed anymore. John Doe, who was a subscriber on here, has been kicking back and forth the notion of maybe buying it from me. So, I mean, anything can be for sale for the proper price, let's say. But as of right now, I'm not actively trying to sell it. So, since I'm not actively trying to sell it, and even if I was, this needed to be done anyway, we're going to roll that mofo in here, and we're going to pop off the rear wheel and see what's going on with that rear axle. I do believe it is the seal. AMC built that axle wrong, so this is not an exceptionally pleasant process. I'm not going to complete it tonight, but what my goal is to get it disassembled so that I can complete it tomorrow night. That's where we're at. It takes two people to do it with what I have, because as y'all have noticed, not a full mechanic shop here full of Cornwell and strap-on tools and all that, okay? I don't have all that. So, what that means is that if you're going to do it wrong the right way, it takes two people to do it incorrectly the right way. So, maybe tomorrow night, time permitting, we'll get to it. But we're going to take apart the rear axle assembly on the driver's side. I already did this on the passenger side. And then we're going to, once that's disassembled, we're going to see about maybe taking the valve cover off and changing the gasket underneath it, because it will not stop puking oil down the back, hitting the bell housing, and it makes one think that it has a rear main seal, but if y'all have watched my videos, you know I've already changed that rear main seal. Okay? The fan has blown out my cigar. Now it is relit up. If y'all hear any loud booms or pops, it's because today is July 1st, and around here where I'm at, people think July 4th means days and days in advance before July 4th. When I think of July 1st, I think of the first day of the Battle of Gettysburg. Okay, I don't want to start shooting off fireworks for the 4th of July. But I'm all about freedom, all right? And if somebody wants to shoot a shotgun or some fireworks in celebration of their country, then have at it, all right? I'm just saying, you might hear some random booms and pops, and I'm not under artillery fire. It is just fellow Americans celebrating their country and all the freedom that we have. Anyway, so yeah, that's what that's about. CJ5 is just outside these doors. I'm going to move the camera Sweep up. There's some Earl around here on the floor, which really shouldn't matter because we're going to be on this side over here. Let's get the CJ5 in here and shut our stupid mouths. We're 15 minutes in, and we'll start pulling crap apart. This will be a longer video. I haven't given y'all a longer video, so I'm telling you, it's going to be longer. If you want to see more of the Jeep stuff, then just fast forward through all this bullshit talking around now, and you can get to the part where I'm rambling about the Jeep. Okay? Let's move you over here to a safe location, closer to the B29, and we'll see if the CJ5 will bust off again. And yes, if you're wondering, I'm getting fatter by the second. So it turns out having a girlfriend in your life that's actually like good and not a horrible just leech of a person makes you happier, which in turn apparently means you eat more. Because I don't even feel like I'm eating more, but apparently I am. So yeah, I'm aware. Busted can of biscuits. I get it. All right. Anyway, I don't know where a broom is, so we're not going to worry about it. How about that? Let's just get the CJ5. Oh. Listen to that. My God. It cranks so nice. It didn't crank this good when I drove it there all the time. I can snake it in here. My brother's got a truck parked here, if you can see it, and it's not advantageous to get it in the shop. Oh. That's the really good thing about a Jeep, is that they turn so dang good. So short a turning radius that you can turn the damn thing in here. Oh. There he is. Sorry about that. I got some dust in my mouth. This fan's blowing dust everywhere. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to jack this unit up, pull that rear wheel off, this one right there. We're going to pull it off and see what's going on. There is a possibility it's a wheel cylinder leaking. It is a very small possibility because it is brand new. And my brakes feel fantastic. So, or not really fantastic, but it's about as good as you can get on an old CJ5. So, let's grab the impact, shall we? Pop this wheel off. Sound good? Sound good. All right, cool. I'm glad you're in agreement with me. Oh, that was the fan got me. Kissed my leg right there. I'd look stupid with one leg, wouldn't I? I'd be all out of kilter. I told you, I'm not very graceful. Get by the death wheel there. Alright. I don't remember what size it is. Kind of want to say it's 7/8, but I'm not sure. So We're gonna say, well, I know one of them's 2 different sizes, which is always nice. We'll pretend it's 7/8. And no, I have not forgotten about the Willies. I've not forgotten about Jubal. Because Jubal's gonna be more involved. And this I can get done in a couple days, theoretically. Let's put our cigar on a thing of burnt motor oil over here real quick and see if this will work. I don't think it'll work, but we can try it. It appears like it might work. Let me grab the jack. Put you over here now. Oh yeah. Alright, we got our wheel off the ground. We got the wrong size socket to take these lugs off because I don't feel like walking over there, and I think it'll work. Let's take our wool hat off since it's 175 degrees in the shade. You know, that'd be cool. Alright. Alrighty. Wrong lug works, or wrong socket will work. Alright, so we got that. Let's pop this tar off real quick. Roll it over here. I'm very happy with these buckshot mutters. They do roar a good bit on the road, but it's like it's a tolerable roar, if that makes any sense. It's not over the top. Spider webs and the fender well, good. A little bit of mud action. That slides off way easier than I would like it to. Drum looks good. I don't see any Earl inside here yet, which is actually pretty good, but it is leaking because I've seen it leaking. Let me grab a light. I got one handy. It is leaking. See that? That's gear dope. It's not axle. I mean, that's not brake fluid. So what that means is, if y'all watch my other videos, so this horrible, good but horrible axle right here, had a two-piece axle design, right? And by that I mean the flange on the end of it was separate from its shaft. And what that means is that that's a horrendous weak point. Now, there's plenty of guys that ran them for years and never had a problem, blah, 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 blah. But considering they knew how to make an axle correctly in World War II, why they decided to go back and do it wrong later, I don't rightly know. So, this Jeep, before I bought it, had been converted to a one-piece chromoly, whatever it is, axle design. The fan just quit for some reason. Let's plug that back in, shall we? Anyway, it's got one-piece chromoly axles in it, which is good. Now, it being a two-piece axle design is not even the worst thing necessarily about this axle. It's the thing most people complain about. My hatred for it is that it's not a full floating axle. I think they actually consider this a semi-floating axle, I think is what they call it. Either way, it's semi-stupid is what it is. So, in order to fix this, we have to pull this axle out. And then in order to change the seal and the bearing, it's not just some nice little jaunt like you would on a full floating axle. It's rather hellish and it sucks. But we're gonna do it. We did it before. So let me get. You don't have to necessarily take the full back plate assembly off. Some guys. Well, you actually do to do it right, but some guys do it the wrong way, and they torch it out, and they do all this horrible crap. The only thing actually keeping this axle in place is the bearing, and then these like 6 bolts and this paper-thin piece of sheet metal. But like the axle's in the housing is held by its bearing, like only its bearing, realistically, and that's not. It's not really that great. And you can read stories about guys having these axles just pop out. Now, those are generally on the ones that have been modified where they torched out the hole, like I'm talking about in the backing plate. I haven't seen that on any one that wasn't modified after the fact. So, either way, just make it right, AMC. God, just, you know. Found the tool to take these springs off, which are always fun and try to kill you. So yeah, let's get to it. We gotta take all this crap off, or at least I'm gonna take it off. Some guys will tell you don't got to. I'm telling you, you need to, or at least, as far as I'm concerned, you need to. Now, some guys will try to take it off as one assembly, but I think it's easier just to take it apart individually. And if you ever forget how to put it back together, you just look at your passenger side. That's why you don't take too much apart at one time. You never take two sides apart of something like this, because you want to be able to refer to the other side. All right, let's see if we can't get these springs off. I haven't used one of these tools in a minute, so if you're already laughing at me, then just know that you're hurtful for no reason. I know there's all kinds of tricks to them. You got to remember, most of my life I never had this tool right here. Okay, most of my life this was a screwdriver and a pair of needle nose for this. So if you're judging me for not knowing all the nifty tricks with this, I know how to put the springs back on with this tool. I know how to use this end of it here. But as far as the fancy tricks on how to grab the springy springs right here, I've never been able to get it to do the way that they show it. Now that could be because this is a cheap Harbor Freight one that isn't as good as some other ones. But if you do it wrong enough, you can do it right. So there's one spring. We're going to throw that in the hub, in the drum over here. There ain't a whole lot in these springs. This isn't as complicated as some things are. Come on. There's another one. Here's this little diamond retainer thing. Put it over there. These I hate worse than literally anything in the world is these stupid little cup spring things. And lots of times I find it easier just to do it with your thumb than use the real tool. Like that. Every now and then the tool, I've had it work the way I want it to, but lots of times it does not. So there's your little spring cup thing assembly. Get your rod out, put it back in so that you do not lose these stupid little cups. Rotate it, lock it in there. Now, I know the lighting's terrible, all right? And if you've watched me before, you'll know that I don't have a crew with me to help me film it, okay? So, we're doing the best we can. Same thing with this side. Slide it back in there, rotate it. We don't want to lose these pieces because we don't want to buy them again, all right? Now, this assembly part here, you can just take off and you can leave all this crap, the adjuster and the bottom spring intact on the bottom if you want it. Just lay that over there. Now, like I say, there's the inner axle seal and the outer axle seal. Now, chances are the inner axle seal is probably fine. All right, the inner axle seal is probably not leaking, or if it is, it's not leaking a whole lot. It's this outer axle seal that always seems to be effed. That's what it was on the other side. It was the outer one, is at least what it appeared. Now, theoretically, if the inner seal is working, there shouldn't be any oil getting to that outer enough to leak. There should only be a little bit getting in there to oil the bearing. But if it's bad, it'll leak. So we need to. I'm going to go ahead and pull this wheel cylinder as well, just because I need it off to be able to get to the things I need to get to. And I'll show you some of the reason why I hate this whole design in a little bit once we get this all apart. Okay. And that feels like it's a 1/2 inch, potentially. It feels 1/2 inch-ish. And we need our brake line wrench to unhook that wheel cylinder, and then we're going to have to bleed the brakes again. It's just, this is hell. All right, that's what this is. Oh, I got the hiccups going on, man. All right. We're gonna lower our seat down a little bit here so that we can get in here. I'm not gonna try to film all this. I'm just trying to tell you more than anything. It's very hard to film. It's dark, and I'm gonna unhook the brake line from your wheel cylinder, okay? And try to do it without destroying things, if you can. Alright. That's unhooked. You don't have to bend it back a mile. Just bend it back enough to where it's not in your way anymore. I technically don't have to take this wheel cylinder off, but I'm going to, just because I don't want to F with it being in the way. And so we're going to take it off. Like I say, you don't have to. If I remember right, you don't have to, but I'm going to. Because I'm already having so much fun, I might as well go ahead and have all the fun. My hands are covered in brake fluid now, so let me move you over here. Maybe this side will offer you some better viewing pleasure. Not really, not even a little bit. I would get the light bar, but the problem is the light bar is too long and sometimes will show even too much light. If that makes sense. So now we're just taking the wheel cylinder out. Just get it out of the way. Keep it from getting damaged. Yeah, but my girlfriend likes the old CJ5. You know, it's like that ZZ Top song. She don't love me, she loves my automobile, you know. I don't know if I've ever mentioned on the channel how much I enjoy ZZ Top, but I'm still not fully alright with the fact that I never got to see him in person with all three of them. I'm still not okay with the fact that I just let time slip away from me and I never went and saw Billy Gibbons, Dusty Hill, and Frank Beard all at once. And I don't know that I'll ever get over that. I've been listening to ZZ Top for years. I mean, I used to get made fun of in high school because people, you know, that's old crappy 80s music, and they need to watch their mouths, all right? Because that old crappy 80s music is fantastic. Okay. All right, we're gonna put the wheel cylinder over here with the other parts. Now we're free to action here. All right. Now we do need to put the unit in neutral so that we can rotate this around and get to these bolts. You're gonna have, let's see, there's 1, 2, I think there's only 4. There's 4 or 5. There's 4, I think, to get this plate that's behind your flange here off. Alright, so now we're in neutral. You probably should like chalk your vehicle or something. But, you know, that probably would make sense. I believe this is a 9/16 on this. Yep, it is. You're going to take out these 4 bolts, or these nuts, and then you're going to pull the axle simply out. And then it's going to turn on the back side, because why you're going to grab you another ratchet or wrench or something. We're gonna get the power ratchet. Ooh, lowered that down farther than I thought. I'll put this one on the back side to hold the rear of it. Slide this one back on this side, take our power ratchet, turn it to loosen mode. This is also the worst thing you can do with a ratchet is use it in place of a wrench, like and put it under load with an impact or something like that. That's a horrible thing. Oh, there we go. Just throw it on the ground. Throw it on the ground, Recollector. That's very horrible for a ratchet, like what I just did, so you shouldn't do that. And I'm not going to do it again because I like this ratchet too much to break it. So I'm going to go get a wrench. It's way better to break a wrench than it is to break a nice ratchet. And that's why it's important to have different grades of wrenches. All right, you want good wrenches, you want shitty wrenches. Because the shitty wrenches, you can cut them, you can break them, you can do whatever you want to them. And nobody cares because it's a shitty wrench. But when you need a good wrench, you can use a good wrench. Know what I'm saying? Alright, let's raise you back up where at least you can see my stupid face a little bit. Got one nut down. Trying to get this bolt out. There it is. There's the bolt we're fighting out. We got to get at least 3 more of these, possibly 4. And we're going to take these and we're going to throw them in the pile of parts that we know that we need. Another one. I'll fast forward through some of this. Y'all don't need to see all of it, but like I said, I was going to give y'all a good long video, and if y'all don't want to watch it, then don't watch it. Alright, some of y'all want to watch the stuff. I know that there's a fella in Australia who has a YouTube channel. He's got a very nice CJ5. He wrote me not that long ago and wanted to know if I was going to do any more on the old CJ5 here and all that. I told him it'd probably be a while. So, if you're watching, buddy, I love your Jeep, by the way. You do some phenomenal videos. I like the scenery. I see your post. I like it. So you're getting to see me mess with this old CJ5 sooner than I told you I would. So hopefully that makes you happy, buddy. Can't get that one out. You don't technically have to get it out. I just want to get it out so I can put it with the nut and bolt, but it's alright. That one was tight. That should be all four of them. Yep. You don't want to bend this if you can help it. It's very thin and fragile. And if I could show it to you, I would, but it's not easy. There's a little flange plate back here. There we go. Now, this should come out. Yeah, like that. That's what it's supposed to do. Now, this is all one assembly right here. And the neat thing is you can't take any of this apart without a bunch of nightmare work. So here's the axle. Okay. Now let me start explaining why this is so horrible. Now I know some of y'all probably disagree, but you're wrong. All right. So you've got this retainer collar right here that holds your bearing in place. Okay. In here, you've got your race and some very foul-looking oil, and then you've got a seal inside here. So you've got to try to get this race out of this housing, which is a nightmare. And then the housing steps up, and you've got a seal in there. All right. Now this seal does appear to be leaking profusely or something, because you've got grease mixed with oil right there. Now, in order to change this seal that's right here, there's another seal. The outer seal is between this flange and your backing plate right here. That's what this is. Okay. In order to get that off, to change it, you've got to get this collar off, the bearing off, backing plate off, to get that old seal off and changed. This is what we call a horrible design. Just remember, when somebody tells you, oh, an engineer, they're brilliant, engineers are brilliant, let me tell you, not all of them. Not all of them, okay? This is not brilliant. This is stupid, all right? Y'all have heard me complain about this before. This is horrendously stupid. So, last time I broke a couple pullers and all kinds of stuff trying to get this race out. Now this one turns very easily, and it's coming out in my hand, which is not not good. It's not supposed to do that. Okay? I'm not supposed to be able to take this out like that. They should be pressed in. The other one I had to press it in there. This one I can put in and out by hand. Yeah, that's not a good thing. It's not a good thing at all. Last one, I had to use a slide hammer, breaking teeth off of it to get this race out. So the fact that this one just comes out could mean a couple different things. Somebody put the wrong bearing in here and the wrong race, or the end of this axle is smoked. It could mean that too. Because if your race isn't actually like firmly in place, it means it can just free spin, and that's not what you want. And this one's damaged on the end. It's got some real rough spots on it. So I don't like that at all. Let's see if we can pull the seal out, and then this video is already an hour long. We'll just pull the seal out and we'll do the valve cover gasket another night. Because I'm not happy with this. I've got a new bearing, all new seals, everything in here. So hopefully, because this doesn't appear to be damaged. So maybe this is just the wrong race. Wrong race and bearing, I don't know. You know, you never know. Just because somebody put chromoly solid axles in it doesn't mean they did it right. Okay? Now the other side appeared to be done right, and I based its assembly off of that because there's in and out play here that you've got to deal with. There's depth. Where you put this bearing at dictates where your splines interact inside your differential. So it's actually like mildly important to do it right. And so on the other side, haven't had any problems, it hasn't leaked or anything. This side, the teeth on the splines look fine. So I don't know. I'm not happy with this. It's giving me bad vibes. Anyway, let's get the seal puller. Another tool that I haven't had for very long, and see if it'll pull the seal out. It does work pretty good sometimes. Sometimes it doesn't work if it's too deep up in there, like this one is. So we'll give it an old college try. I know you can't see nothing. Believe me, I know. All right. This is the end of your axle tube right here. We're going to see if we can't hook on that seal in there and pull it out. Maybe. Oh yeah, I forgot it's got that spacer in there. There's like a spacer ring that separates the seal from the bearing. I don't know. I haven't done this in a while, so I'm not super keen on what's happening right now. All I know is it's a horrible design. I'm gonna keep reiterating that. This is what we call a good stopping point. Okay? We've got it somewhat disassembled, and if you mechanic much at all, or say you want to get into mechanic, let the Red Clay Traveler give you one word of advice. If you don't know what the hell you're doing, which I almost never do, ask somebody that does, or if you're already upset, you're unhappy about what you're doing, take a break from it. Okay? So what I'm going to do is I've got the axle out, I've got the brake assembly off, I know I got to get the seal out, and I believe the spacer. I know I got to do that, but I don't have to do it right this second. So instead of risking tearing something up that's probably already torn up, you take a step back, mentally focus, think about it, and then come back and do it again later. Okay? So I'm going to ask my brother, because he was with me when I was doing this before, and I can't remember. I've filmed a lot of videos and worked on a lot of shit by this point. All right, so I don't necessarily remember all of it. I've only done this procedure one time before, so forgive me if you're judging me right now, but I'm just saying, like, I'm smart enough to quit while I'm still behind, all right? And I don't want to tear this up. I haven't torn anything up yet, so I want to make sure that I don't tear anything up, and ask him how we got this out before, because I remember us using a slide hammer, and I remember it sucked. Anyway, I'm the Red Clay Traveler. I've got brake cleaner, oil, and foul-smelling gear dope on my hands and on my camera. And remember, the Red Clay Traveler loves you, and just maintenance your danged old CJ5s, okay? Just maintenance them. Just maintenance them. Everybody says gear dope smells bad. I really kind of like it. I'm not gonna lie. Anyway, maintenance your units, all right, so that you don't have to deal with this. So that's what we're trying to do. I'm trying to reverse years and years of neglect on this CJ5. There's been a lot of water under the bridge since somebody gave a damn about this unit. And I think I'm the first one, arguably, ever that's cared about it. So we're gonna fix this just like we fixed all the rest of the crap on it so far. So we just gotta come back with a better battle strategy. Sorry, I'm just getting these bolts out right now. I'm the Red Clay Traveler. And if you grew up in Georgia, there was a lot of commercials back in the day for Hardy Boy Chevrolet. And the way that they always signed it off is we love you and we need you. All right, that's how they signed off Hardy Boy Chevrolet. To quote Hardy Boy Chevrolet, we love you and we need you at the Red Clay Traveler channel. And I'm glad you're still with me. I'm glad you're still subscribing. Keep commenting, keep sharing. I can't tell you how much I enjoy talking to y'all. It means a lot to me that y'all take time out of your lives to comment on my channel and on my stupid videos. I enjoy that a great deal. It means a lot to me. I love you all. I'm glad to be hearing from you all. And I'm going to try to be a man of my word and keep posting videos more frequently. So, until the next video on this sick CJ5, remember, if you know nothing else from me but one thing, remember, Willys for life, okay? Willys for life, Jeep for life, AMC for life, okay? I had to think about it for a second because this hell that I'm dealing with is because of AMC. But you know what? I still love the Jeep, all right? And when this unit fails, we're going to put a real axle in it, and we'll never have to deal with this crap again, okay? I love you all. Don't forget, hit that subscribe button. Tell your friends, tell your grandma. And just know the Red Clay Traveler loves you, all right? Jeep sickness. Yeah, buddy, look at that. Look at this. This is how I keep my hands nice and soft. Yeah.